Alright. Hello everybody. So this is a new thing I'm trying where I drive around and talk. It's called Driving Uncensored. So today's subject, I don't think we can really have a subject today. I think this is just kind of be a general rundown of what I've been doing and what I'm thinking of continuing to do, because there is after what happened in LA with me, the likelihood that I am blacklisted is very high, and the likelihood that I even want to work with anybody who supports the Hollywood system is also I'm kind of done with that. I have a bunch of feelings about the way in which things are run in Hollywood, most of them having to do with like the way unions function that have added astronomical cost to what people call quote unquote art, but it's just like a big old fucking mess of so man, it's just a big old mess of what do you call it? There's just a whole bunch of bureaucracy that's adding cost to something that doesn't have to add, doesn't need to have cost added to it. Making films has become, or videos and stuff, in most people's minds, has become a thing that is so expensive that you're like, well, I'll never be able to make what I want to make, so why bother making anything at all? And that is kind of what I've been struggling with. That and manners. Now, that doesn't mean making money off of your work. Being compensated for your time is a bad thing. That's not a bad thing. What is a bad thing is, for example, what ads cost to films and stuff is like in unions, when an industry becomes heavily unionized, they start going, you have a whole bunch of, blue collar, not that there's anything wrong with that, but there's a bunch of blue collar folk that are like, something, we could create more jobs if we have stricter union rules. So they'll do things like, if you work in the lighting union, if you're like in the whatever, I don't even know what the numbers are or any of that stuff. I haven't paid attention to it because I just was also always like, I don't want any part of this. It's stupid. It's freaking, it's compulsory too. There's nothing wrong with people forming unions in terms of like, you know what, we're all going to stop working together. Why? Because this just isn't a good place to work. It'll send a nice message. We might be able to improve other people's lives with this if we go on strike. However, what you really have more often than people going on strike or fighting against inhumane work conditions is you have a bunch of people that are like, we're all in the lighting, we're in the lighting union. And then they're on a set and somebody's like, hey, can somebody move that light? And if someone from the lighting union isn't standing there and there's somebody from the camera department and they're in a different union, if that certain person in the camera department is standing right next to the light and it just needs to be moved 2 inches, if that person moves it, they could be fined. They're not allowed to. Union rules said only lighting people can move lights. So you have all this bureaucracy that's added there to be like, oh, this keeps things safe and it protects everyone's jobs. And it's like, no, it just makes it impossible to get anything done because you have a crew of 30 people, but only half of them are ever working at one time. Really, it's like a fourth. usually with films and stuff, there's a lot of standing around, because while you're shooting, the shot's set up, and now it's up to the actors, the creative peeps, to get the shot, and then they move on to the next thing. So, when you want to make a sci-fi epic about a guy on a space station fighting aliens, and it's a whole, it's based on the scientific knowledge available at the time, which is a whole nother discussion. You realize very quickly there's no way I'm ever going to get to make this. There's no way, right? So then you go, well, what else can I do? And I was like, well, why don't we bring down the Hollywood system? I'm like, that I can do. That I can do. That's happening. I can help along with that. So my goal here is, with these videos, this is me writing a book when I have no desire to sit down at a typewriter. I'll just make some videos. You guys can listen to my thoughts on, sometimes on the passing scenes, sometimes on things that are going to be personal. I already know there's some things that I want to talk about that are extremely personal. But I don't ever want you guys to get like super bored. So my issue right now, and this is the big issue right now, is I don't have time to edit. And editing is one of my favorite things to do. Like, I can't release enough content for you guys under, like, the way things work now. It's like people want content like on a regular basis, and then they get into your story, and then they start paying attention to your story, and then they're like, this is real, this is reality TV, this is reality, or it's closer to reality, I should say, because I'm still like, I know that I'm just talking to a camera, driving around waiting to light this tobacco pipe, and just kind of avoiding getting a real job. But the thing is like, it's the only thing I'm good at, man. I'm good at a lot of things, but the problem is they're all related to stuff that nobody's willing to pay for. Everybody looks at video and they go, I'm not paying for that. Why would I pay for that? There's copious amounts of video content for free to me, and it's all far more, easy to get a hold of than your stuff, Tim, because you have to put it on Gumroad.com. That brings me to my next thing. Gumroad.com. It's kind of like a Patreon or one of those types of things, but I kind of like the way Gumroad is laid out. It's very simplistic. You just go in there and you just go, well, here's the thing. Here are the videos. Here's all the videos. Watch them, download them, share them with your friends. They kind of become little collector's items in a way when you can download them and watch them. But question is you got to put a price on your product. Like, I have to put a price on my product, and my product right now is going to be like videos like this for a while I work on something that's more impressive in my other time. But if I'm constantly updating you guys and keeping you updated on what I'm working on, maybe you'll be into it, maybe you'll pay. So I sat down. So how do you determine how much you should charge people for your work? First of all, price yourself well. Don't price yourself terribly. Have some confidence in yourself. And the other thing is that volume is where you're going to make. If you're going to make money making videos online and build a company that way, your audience, you have to build volume through audience. So like, if I would like to charge everybody $1 for every 30 minutes of video that I produce that's super perfect. Like, if I was making a movie, I would be like the old dollar theaters. I think that's what we're returning to, is like the internet is becoming like the old Nickelodeons, where you pay a nickel and you'd watch a short film. And they used to do that in America when people weren't a bunch of commie assholes who like just wanted everything for free. Like, you're getting this for free, but it's not going to last forever. I'm going to get you hooked. I'm going to get you into my story, and I'm going to get you wondering whether or not this guy's going to jerk the wheel. All right, so my point is you got to put a price on what you're worth, and once you find out what people are willing to pay for stuff after doing some research, you might find that people are willing to pay a lot more than you might think. So here's the thing for me. I think a monthly subscription is a good way to keep me honest. And I say, I'm going to give you X amount of videos like that are whatever, you know, like a good video takes me about 2 weeks to a month to make, like a half-hour good. Like, if you watch Nobody Gives a Shit, the other ones, Nobody Gives a Shit, like the edited ones that I do, I'm gonna have to, you know, this is just Tim driving uncensored. When you watch those you can tell I put a lot of work into, but I really enjoy that process, I enjoy the process, so it becomes like super easy for me to get inspired. But the problem is when the way my brain works right now is I get an idea, I get really excited about it, I think about how much work it's gonna be, and then I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. No one's going to watch it. Like, what's the point? So this is where we're starting. Now, if you've seen my other work, you know I'm capable, seriously, if you've watched Dream of Me, you know I'm capable of literally blowing your mind as just me. Imagine if I could make enough money to hire some other people to work for me so that I could focus on the big picture, so that I can be like, this is what I'm trying to get done. Like right now, I've been kind of doing a story treatment for a screenplay that I want to shoot with cell phones. I want to shoot it in this area, and it's going to be kind of based on my ride sharing experiences. And I want to cast a lot of people that are up and coming, like kind of social media stars, but people that I like, and I'm writing parts directly for them. And then I'm going to have those people advertise to their followers on their social media that they're in a movie, and then we'll go from there. I think maybe we should do a Kickstarter for that. But that Kickstarter, like, I don't even know what that money would go to other than allowing me to just hire everybody I need to hire. I don't think we would have to shoot for more than 3 weeks, 4 weeks at the most, but it would probably be spread out because you'd have to be like, you have to schedule like certain people at certain times, and there's certain people that you know are going to be divas, and you're like, all right, what do you need to, what can I do to get you here to the middle of nowhere so I can shoot a scene with you in a cornfield? That sounds dirty. Yeah, so that's what we're working towards. We're working towards a 90-minute feature film to be shot over the course of, I'd say, early spring, late winter is when we're shooting exteriors. I think we can shoot a lot of interiors and stuff over the course of the winter, periodically, shoot some scenes here and there. I mean, even Christopher Nolan had to start by, like, all he did was shoot on the weekends over the course of a year or something with a bunch of people, and he was like a one-man crew. And I think that's what you got to do. You got to be a one-man crew, bruh. So, I got 7 minutes left on this one. I'm trying to keep these to about 22 minutes so that you can see what it's like to spend 22 minutes with me driving around while I tell you about things. So this morning, I was just speaking. I live with my folks right now, which is it's been great in some ways, but overall, it's a nightmare. Like, I just don't want to be around them because I feel like shitty because they're there's a couple horses. Just passed a couple horses, got distracted looking at the horses. I know it's shitty because they're like retired. They don't want me there. So do it for my parents. When the time comes for me to put up a paywall, which will happen here soon, I'm already kind of selling certain things. When the time comes for me to put up a paywall for you to, see my content, I'm only going to do it like $60 a year, $5 a month. Maybe we'll have some sort of sweet deal where you buy it, you get a little bit off if you buy a whole year at once or whatever. And people are like, $5 a month, dude? Yeah, right. And it's like, if you bought me a beer, if you get like a bunch of conversation and a bunch of video content that you enjoy, think about it this way. All right, is the overall net balance of having Tim content in your life worth $5 a month? Is it? Is having Tim in your life worth $5 a month? Oh, man. Man. But here's the thing, right? If I can get my bottom line here, my bottom line in life is like 60 grand a year. Like, I am not looking for a lot of money, and people are like, you're out of your mind. Like, if I'm making 60 grand, I'd be fine with that. But the thing is like, I have to be paid much more than that in order to pay other people. I remember I used to work in Manhattan at a very nice, prestigious clothing company. And I remember the guy that I worked for there, he was a contractor. And him being a contractor was like, what was I saying? Oh yeah. So this guy that was contracting, he got let go because his like invoices or whatever, there was a change of like leadership, and then the new leadership, they throw out all the old creatives and they bring in all their own creative people. That's generally how it happens. So all those creative people were getting let go, and one of the problems was the guy that I worked for did, like, they looked at the bottom line of what they were paying him, and he was like, you're not just paying me, you're paying like 4 or 5 other people and other things. Like, you're paying my company to do other things for you. This isn't just going to me in my pocket. So, but because he didn't explain that, it didn't matter. The guy knew that it wasn't going just to him in his pocket, but he didn't care. He was like, you haven't made that clear on your paperwork. So as a result, I'm gonna get rid of you. And everyone will be like, oh good, you saved so much money. So, it's kind of absurd the way people try to screw other people out of like their livelihood or their job. It happens all the time. I've never understood that. Like, I just don't understand people being like, we gotta get rid of this person. Anyway. So, when I wrap this up, I just want to say that, like, I'm about halfway through Hide Wars right now, and I even emailed Sam, because I would like, if he wanted to work on something, I would work on something with him. I think he's really a cool dude. He's also comes from kind of the same area that I come from, because I originally grew up in, born in New Hampshire and stuff, grew up around Boston and all that. So, you know, the weird thing was watching his stuff, and I think some of it's like a year old at this point, but watching his stuff, it was eerie, some of the things he was saying. I was like, holy crap, this is very similar to my last few years. And I just think that there is something that happens when a man hits his, hits 30, you know, between 30 and 33, there's a lot of things that happen in a man's life where he starts to focus and he starts to just, or he doesn't. As I said to somebody once, this is going to be harsh for some people. Hey man, when you get into your late 20s, early 30s, you're going to have to pull some sort of a trigger in life. You get going or stop going. You know what I mean? You gotta get going or get out. And I say that as someone who, when I was younger, I did have a suicidal spell, which we'll get into. Let's cover that because that's like a big part of my life, at least early on. And I'm gonna let this guy go by. It's a woman. What a surprise. What a surprise that someone who would be driving extremely fast, riding your ass, and angry, there will be a woman behind the wheel. What a surprise. I'm going to say so many things that are going to offend you, but let's see. There you go. That's 22 minutes. Wrap it up. So many, I'm going to say things that will offend you if you're like a wimp. If you're a wimpy person, you're going to get offended by a lot of the things I say. And I'm not trying to offend you. I've realized recently, it's like, I'm not trying to be offensive or be like overly forceful. Or not forceful, you know what I mean? Like I'm not trying to piss people off. I just have a way of saying the truth that's in a way that people don't want to hear it. You know? Which we'll get into. I don't know if that, I mean, is that something I need to work on? Probably. But I also find certain people that I'm just like, no matter what I say to this person, in whatever tone, they're not going to fly off the handle about it. There's a lot of people out there that just like don't like what you say, and they're just like, I'm gonna get righteously indignant because you said a thing that I don't like, and it's me. You know? I don't know. I think I ride shared someone from that house. Well, see, like even like this corncob pipe tobacco situation, I quit cigarettes. I quit drinking a while back, and like I still drink occasionally, but now it's not like every day, you know, or by myself. But like I'm one of those people that's like, whatever substances you want to do, man, do it. But like if it starts affecting other parts of your life, like you're not working hard enough, or everything starts to get weird, or like people start complaining about you, like that's something to pay attention to. You know, you should be like, oh, you know something, I I think I need to, figure out the right dosage of everything, you know what I mean? Because even food, like, people eat too much food, you know? Like, you know how much of something you should have or shouldn't have. Anyway, but the reason I bring up the pipe is, like, I was like, oh, Sam's smoking cigars and a pipe and stuff, and I was like, I don't know, I just feel like he's moved on to similar things that I have. I just started, found a bunch of things that he likes to do now instead of the things he used to do. But, still do it occasionally. I still smoke weed occasionally. But, like, there's certain people, like, where they just smoke all the time, and then after, it's not right away, it's like a little while out, it gets to the point where I'm like, dude, I can't even talk to you. Like, your brain isn't going at the rate it should. It's not. There was a guy who I met in California who was a pretty cool dude, and he was very adamant about being a straight edge. And I was like, alright. And I kind of went more in that direction. And then I started eating keto and stuff, and then I started just thinking of the body as like it's just a chemistry set, and you just have to figure out, you just have to like let your body know, like you're gonna get these chemicals at this time every day, and then you're gonna get these ones, and then eventually your body goes, oh, okay, I'm starting to get it. A good schedule is good for your body. And drink tons of water. Just drink tons of water. As much water as you can. I'm liking driving out here. It's a whole bunch of fields. But my ultimate goal with this is in 5 years' time have a plot of land with a just kind of a big hangar that is essentially a studio, and maybe inside of it I'll build like a kind of almost a barn structure as a studio on a field out here, and then like have a trailer that's literally my house or something that size. And then start a homegrown filmmaker type of business model, which I think we should start moving towards. I think right now, a lot of people think of art on a McDonald's level, and they need to start thinking of it, thinking on it as a locally grown farm produce stand. That's the way you need to start thinking about your artists. If you want to go out there and support, Marvel movies. I enjoy Marvel movies. I think they're good. They're going to start to get bad here pretty quick when all the people that were, when Kevin Feige leaves and all the talent that built it. There'll be we'll see some interesting things, and then it'll just fall off. But if you want to go out and support Marvel movies, do that. But I think you should also look at people who make films and help them. Like if you're a business person, if you're an adult business person, and there's a kid that's like, I want to make rock sculptures. You'd be like, all right, dude. Maybe you should make rock sculptures, but if you're making rock sculptures, maybe you should make videos about the rock sculptures as well with your friend who makes videos and put them online, and then charge people for your videos. But you don't even really have to charge people. Just some people will pay when they see you're doing a good job. They'll just be like, I'm going to pay, just because they like what you're doing and they see that you're doing it regularly. So that's the thing I need to do now. Is like I need to be making content regularly. But my problem is I'm a perfectionist and I always want everything to be perfect. And I'll spend weeks on something that people will be like, that's pretty good. Yeah, it's alright. I watched it. It's made me laugh. I wouldn't pay $5 for it. I'm like, you're paying $5 to keep an artist afloat. And I think if I can get 200 people to do that, I can move out of my parents' house. If I can get 200 people to give me $60 now, but $5 a month, bink. So the monthly thing is kind of like, the most you'll pay is $60 a year. $5 a month, though, at any point, someone's like, you're not doing enough. And you can write me an email and be like, hey, you're not doing enough. Now, I'm building a library right now that you will get access to for $5 a month. And there's going to be a lot of stuff. It'll be like kind of all my work in there. But I also want to like make more t-shirts and do more like posters and stuff. Because I design all that stuff, but I just like never had a way to sell it to anybody, Just never had a platform. Distribution is hard. That's the hardest thing for an artist. So, I'm going to try to keep things cheap. So that all of you can enjoy it. Because I don't want to like make it so that people can't enjoy it. I don't know. I've never... The fact that movies are so expensive now, it's like I can't even afford to go to them. It's too expensive, dude. Like when you're earning your own money or not, you gotta look at stuff and be like, I would rather watch a version for free where a Korean man pointed a camcorder at the screen and there's Korean subtitles on the thing and there's a 1x bet ad in the middle of it. Alright. Most of you probably won't know what that means. Anyways, alright, this has gone on for way too long. What am I at? 33 minutes. Holy crap. Larry Bird length. Alright everybody, you're all great probably. I don't know most of you, but some of you I do. We're going to talk about stuff. I'll try and keep you guys updated. I'm going to do this every day now. Every morning and then every afternoon. A little bit of dressing up and an upload. So that's how that's going. Alright kiddos. Dudes. Should we call it kiddos? That's like, I was talking to a bunch of ladies, a bunch of girls that I was trying to like impress. Hey kiddo. Call you dudes. Alright dudes. Duders. Try to keep this light for the most part. I mean, I'm driving during the day talking to you. That's bright and happy. It's so hot. Alright. I was trying to make the cut match with the whatever. So, what I was saying about unions at the very beginning of this whole thing, go back and read, there's an article that Thomas Sowell wrote about like how the effect of compulsory unions on the Hostess, Twinkie, Wonder Bread factories, because they like had to shut down and then someone else bought them and kept them open. So if you want to see how a union, a group of people thinking that they're creating more jobs and making their job easier while giving themselves a bunch of money, and how that cuts into a business's profits and just destroys the business, that's a great article to read. He really explains a whole bunch of stuff about how compulsory unions are just detrimental to pretty much everything. So, we absolutely, the free associations between human beings and workers in order to prove their situations is fine, but that's between you and your employer. But when you go, this whole industry, you have to be part of this union before you can even practice this trade, stupid. And most guys don't like it, but then they become part of it, and then they go, oh, I see how we can spin this to our advantage, and then they're like, yeah, I'm in it. So, anyway. So, bye!